Hey there and welcome back to Mass Effect 2. My name is Pete and today we complete another episode of our Mass Effect 2 Insanity walkthrough. Today we complete Tali's loyalty mission. Or at least the first half of it, because thanks to some rather lengthy dialogue scenes, this is actually one of the longer loyalty missions in the game. However, at least in my opinion, it is also one of the best. Now, last time we left off right next to the Quarian Migrant Fleet, and you may have noticed already that we are no longer there. Instead, we are currently in the lair of the Shadow Broker. The simple reason for that is that we still have a couple of delivery shipments to pick up, so let's get right to that and get our hands on the last remaining sniper rifle upgrade, as well as 1,250 units of Element 0. Immediately afterwards, we can then also head over to the research terminal here and spend 10,000 units of platinum to unlock that sniper rifle upgrade, and with that we now have another weapon fully maxed out. One last thing then, before we leave again, we can also check in with our investment opportunities real quick, starting with embedded correspondence, where we funded safe housing for journalists in the Terminus systems, and with success, as we now earn double the money back that we initially spent. Blue Listed then had us run a smear campaign against the Blue Sun's mercenaries. However, that endeavor unfortunately was a failure. We gain no money from it and unfortunately lose 2,500 credits. In mutually assured income, we spent 2,000 credits to assure military balance between several Batarian clans. However, our efforts were once again in vain and we gained nothing from this investment. Finally then, we have chemical warfare, where we let the biotech company Binary Helix know about the next Citadel inspection of their business, and they reward us generously with a payment of 2,000 credits, 1,000 more than we initially spent. This brings us now to the final two investment opportunities, starting with Arbitrator, in which we can fund peace talks to avoid the garden world of Anhur from slipping back into civil war. Finally then, we have False Prophets, where we can undermine a religious cult on Omega, and perhaps even bag some of their donation money for ourselves. And that would be all. At this point, we are now finally ready to start Tali's loyalty mission, so I'll meet you back at the Migrant Fleet in just a second. So here we are, and quick recap, all that we know at this point is that Tali has been accused of treason. She has been ordered back to the Migrant Fleet to stand her trial, and well, let's see how that goes and what the accusations actually are. Now, for extra shits and giggles, we are going to bring Legion on this mission. That is going to present us with a couple of interesting confrontations, to say the least. Skill point wise, we're not going to do anything here, but we will switch Legion from the Incisor to the Widow sniper rifle. That is all though, at least in my opinion, this mission does not require an overly planned out weapon loadout.
This is Talizora Vasnima Naraya, requesting permission to dock with the Raya.
Our system has your ship flagged as Cerberus. Verify.
After time adrift among open stars, along tides of light and through shoals of dust, I will return to where I began.
Permission granted. Welcome home, Talizora.
We'd like a security and quarantine team to meet us. Our ship is not clean.
Understood. Approach exterior docking cradle 17.
I don't think it's a good idea to bring a
Get that damn thing off my ship before you start an incident that makes the Ascension Project fiasco with Cerberus.
You're defending your ship. I respect that. But don't try to intimidate me, Captain.
Or what?
Or I take off this mask and breathe germs all over your nice, clean ship.
I'm letting you aboard as a favor to Tali. The Geth is too much. Leave it on your ship.
So, after the Renegade interruption, we now use the Charm option for 5 Paragon points. I will have to admit though, the Captain's aggressive behavior is somewhat understandable, especially considering that we're not just here for a visit, but that Tali is actually being accused of treason.
This is your ship and I'm a guest. But Legion is part of my team. Unless you want to shoot me, we're both coming aboard.
Or I could kick you both off. No one here likes Geth or Cerberus. I can't guarantee your safety.
I can guide them away from the more militant elements of the crew.
There are a lot more militants these days, Talizora. And given the charges against you, it's only getting worse.
What do you mean?
They're charging you with bringing active Geth into the fleet as part of a secret project.
That's insane. I never brought active Geth aboard. I only sent parts and pieces.
Well, this is certainly new information, and certainly something that Tali could have told us about beforehand.
You sent Geth materials back to the Migrant Fleet?
Yes, my father was working on a project. He needed the materials. If I sent back something that was only damaged, not permanently inactive, no, I checked everything. I was careful.
Technically, I'm under orders to place Tali Zora under arrest pending the hearing. So, Tali, you're confined to this ship until this trial is over.
Thank you, Captain.
Preparations got underway as soon as you arrived. The hearing's being held in the Garden Plaza. Good luck. You should speak with Admiral Ran. She's waiting for you up ahead.
Alright then, that is what we're going to do.
I can't believe they're charging Tali Zora with such a thing.
The captain let a Geth onto the ship. I'm lodging a complaint.
And up ahead we now have Admiral Ran waiting for us. Let's see what she has to say.
Tali Zora vas Normandy. I am glad you came. I could delay them only so long.
Auntie Ron! Shepherd vas Normandy, this is Admiral Shalaran vas Tonbe. She's a friend of my father's. Wait, Ron, you called me vas Normandy.
I'm afraid I did, Tali. The Admiralty Board moved to have you tried under that name, given your departure from the Nima.
Now we can ask a couple of questions here before we go in, and the answers will reveal that things are indeed looking pretty serious for Tali.
I take it being associated with the human ship is a bad sign.
They stripped me of my ship name. That's as good as declaring me exiled already.
It's not over yet, Tali. You have friends who still know you as Tali Zora vas Nima. Whatever we must call you legally.
You're an admiral. Does that mean you're one of the judges?
I'm afraid not. My history with Tali and her father forced me to recuse myself.
I imagine father had to do the same.
You'll see inside, Tali. For my part, I moderate and ensure that the rules of protocol are followed, but I have no vote in the judgment.
I guess we should get started. Does Tali have a defense counselor? Someone who speaks for her side?
Indeed, she does, Captain Shepard. She is part of your crew now, recognized by Quarian law. And remember, an accused is always represented by his or her ship's captain.
So, you would actually speak for my defense?
At this point we can now grab 2 Paragon points by saying that we feel honored, although this is once again something that one could very much expect a quick heads up about.
I'll do everything in my power to help you, Tali.
Thank you, Shepard. I could not ask for a better counselor.
Our legal rules are simple. There are no legal tricks or political loopholes for you to worry about. Present the truth as best you can. It will have to be enough. Now come. I promised that I would not delay you. This conclave is brought to order. Blessed are the ancestors who kept us alive, sustained us, and enabled us to reach this season. Keep us alive. The accused Tali Zora vas Normandy has come with her captain to defend herself against the charge of treason.
Security! A Geth is present in the courtroom. Does Tali Zora think to affect this hearing with threats?
Captain Donna allowed the Geth aboard. Do you intend to second-guess the Raya's captain, Admiral Chorus?
Objection withdrawn.
Shepard vas Normandy. Your crew member Tali Zora stands accused of treason. Will you speak for her?
Now, the only Paragon path here is to go with the charm option, so we're going to do that and remain friendly and polite.
If it helps Tali, I will. But in her heart, she remains Tali Zora Vas Nima, a proud member of the Migrant Fleet. I regret that our captain is forbidden to stand at her side today.
Nobody has been forbidden from anything. It is a simple...
Lie to them if you must, Zalcoris, but don't lie to me and expect me to stay silent. The human is right.
Admirals, please. Shepard's willingness to represent Tali Zora in this hearing is appreciated. Tali, you're accused of bringing active guests to the Migrant Fleet. What say you?
Now, at this point, our answer does not really matter, but let's bring up the question of how anyway. Because, yeah, Tali has been serving on our ship for quite some time now, and it has also been a while since we ran into some Geth for the last time.
How could Tali have brought Geth to the fleet while serving on the Normandy?
To clarify, Shepard, Tali isn't accused of bringing back entire units, only parts that could spontaneously reactivate.
But I would never send active Geth to the fleet. Everything I sent was disabled and harmless.
Then explain how Geth seized the lab ship where your father was working.
What are you talking about? What happened?
As far as we can tell, Tali, the Geth have killed everyone on the Alarai. Your father included.
What? Oh, Keela.
Right, so either Tali is a very good actress, or this is something that she definitely had no clue about. In either case, I think at the moment there are more pressing matters to attend to than this trial, so let's offer to help for 5 more Paragon points.
I appreciate the need for this trial, Admirals, but right now our first concern must be the safety of the Migrant Fleet. The Normandy stands ready to assist in whatever capacity necessary.
Thank you. Quarian strike teams have attempted to retake the ship, so far without success.
Shepard, we have to take back the Alarai.
The safest course would be to simply destroy the ship. But if you are looking for an honorable death instead of exile...
I'm looking for my father, you Boshtet!
You intend to retake the Alarai from the Geth? This proposal is extremely dangerous.
Now, right here, we basically only have 3 ways of saying yes, so we might as well pick the one that gives us 2 more Paragon points.
With your permission, Admirals, yes. The good of the fleet must come first. And Tali needs to find her father.
Agreed. And if you die on this worthy mission, Tali, we will see that your name is cleared of these charges.
We can discuss that later.
Then it is decided. You will attempt to retake the Alarai. You are hereby given leave to depart the Raya. A shuttle will be waiting at the secondary docking hangar. Be safe, Tali. This hearing will resume upon your return, or upon determination that you have been killed in action.
Thank you for agreeing to take back the Alarai, Shepard. The Admirals sound sure that my father is already dead, but... I don't know. We won't know anything until we get there.
Now, in light of the recent news of the likely death of her father, I think it can't hurt to ask Tali how she's doing, and let's also learn a bit more about how to best proceed before we then do exactly that.
How are you holding up? They just threw a lot of fire at you, even before telling you about your father.
I knew this would be bad, but I guess you're never really prepared to be charged with treason. And my father, I don't know. He could still be alive. They don't know for certain that he's dead. I just don't know, Shepard, and I need to find out.
Is there anyone here you want to talk to before we go?
We can talk with the Admirals. It might help us to see what their viewpoints are. But I doubt we'll change anyone's mind by talking to them privately.
Let's go.
Right. The sooner we get to the Alarai, the sooner we'll know what happened.
Shepard, the secondary docking hangar is through the conclave chamber where you are now. The shuttle they have provided is unarmed.
Understood.
Whatever Geth are on the Alarai have likely built more of themselves. Expect heavy resistance.
Right, so before we leave, we can now have a few more conversations, including 2 with old acquaintances.
Loyalty to the fleet is about more than just killing Geth. Tali Zora is guilty.
Right here, we are now standing in front of Vitor, who you might remember from the very beginning of this series, because we met him back in Freedom's Progress, where he was the only survivor of the Collector attack.
Shepard, how did you get onto the Raya?
Shepard is here to help me with my trial.
Oh yes, I heard about that. I hope you didn't really do what they said you did.
No, Vitor. I would never endanger the fleet.
Oh, well, good. So, can I help you with anything? I mean, probably not, but you helped me.
Now, he doesn't seem to be overly eager to have a lengthy conversation, so we're not going to drag this out too long. Perhaps he can help us out though, and at the very least we can finish this conversation with 2 more Paragon points.
Tali could use some friends right now. Would you be willing to tell the Admirals how she helped you?
No, I mean, yes, but I already did. They came to see me. I didn't want to talk in a crowd.
Vitor is doing well, but he isn't ready for a public speech just yet.
I talked to them. So did that soldier, Cal Rieger. We both told them about how you helped us. I hope it helped.
I'm sure it did, Vitor. Thank you.
Do you remember anything else about the Collectors? Anything at all?
Nothing new. I'm sorry. Every time I go back to that place in my mind, I...
Vitor, come back. It's okay.
I want to help, but I can't. I didn't see anything, and what I remember...
Don't worry, Vitor. We're going to find the things that did this, and we're going to kill them.
Good. Thank you.
Take care of yourself, Vitor. Not many could have gone through what you did and come out sane.
I know. I didn't. But thank you, Commander. It's only because of your help that I've come this far.
Right, so up next we're now talking to another familiar face, as we run into Cal Rieger, who we have met previously on Haestrom, where him and Tali were doing research on the system's sun.
Cal Rieger.
Shepard, Talizora, good to see you both. Wish you were under better circumstances.
What did they get from our readings?
Damnedest things, just like they said. No way the sun on Haestrom should have been acting that way.
So that dark energy theory is right. That's troubling.
Can't really comment on that, ma'am. I just shoot things.
Now, at this point, we can learn a bit more about why he is here, his current condition, and the results of the research on Haestrom. Unfortunately, though, it looks like he does not have any information regarding the accusations against Tali.
What are you doing aboard the Raya? It sounds like you gave your report to the Admiralty already.
Well, I stayed to argue the charges against Talizora. I've served with her, and she deserves better than what she's getting.
Thanks, Cal.
Just stating facts, ma'am.
Have you had any luck talking to the Admiralty board?
Admiral Ron asked my opinion about the Geth since I'd fought on Haestrom. She and Admiral Garrel are hoping you'll kill a bunch of Geth to get the crowd on your side, then find evidence to clear your name. They were hesitant, but, well, you didn't have many other options, ma'am. I recommended getting you onto the Alarai. I hope you can handle it.
You did the right thing. Thank you.
How have you been, Rieger? You took kind of a beating on Haestrom.
Physical damage wasn't bad. I was down for about a week with infection, though. Figure I got off easy. I don't have to face those Admirals.
With your immune systems, it couldn't be easy for Quarians to fight a war. You'd lose more people to infection than injury.
We can't afford a frontline attack, that's for sure. Have to fight smart. Ideally from orbit.
We do have stockpiles of antibiotics. It's not as though everyone would die from a single shot.
No, Shepard's right. You've only seen our strike ops, Tali. Don't have all the fancy equipment in a frontline fight. Supplies get strained. Things get ugly, fast.
You said that your mission had something to do with dark energy.
Right. Remember the damn sun on Haestrom? Shorted out everything. Way too much radiation? The sun's getting old. Only it's not. Dark energy. It's reducing the mass of the star's interior. Techs are worried.
What does that dark energy buildup mean? Is it something we should worry about?
Sorry, Shepard, I don't know what it means. Just that it has the scientists worried.
Hopefully it's isolated, some rare phenomenon. If dark energy can destabilize solar material. Probably not something to worry about now. But resources in this galaxy are scarce enough without stars suddenly going dead.
Some days I think flying around in the fleet without a planet of our own is the right idea.
Do you think the Geth are responsible for what's happening to Haestrom's sun?
Keela, I hope not. They can screw up a star, our chances in war are even worse than I thought.
I don't think this is the Geth. It would take massive time and resources to affect a star like this deliberately. It's too inefficient to be a weapon, and even the Geth wouldn't destroy a useful star system. Besides, they didn't show up until we did.
Yeah, hope you're right, man. Synthetic bastards are bad enough as it is.
We should get going.
Good luck on the Alarai. Stay safe out there.
Now, over in the corner here, we can now talk to one of the Admirals taking part in the trial. For now, though, she hasn't really talked a lot, so maybe we are able to find out here whether she's with us or against us.
Tali Zora, given the circumstances, are you certain that speaking to me is appropriate?
I'm looking for information about the Alarai. I don't intend to bribe you in the middle of the plaza, Admiral.
And what a wonderful specimen this is. Geth's shell over standard mech interior. Or did you convince a Geth to work with you?
Now, she seems unusually excited to see an active Geth running around, so let's dig a bit deeper there and perhaps find out why that is.
Legion is working with me voluntarily. It's part of my team.
It has a name. Fascinating. The things I could learn under slightly different circumstances.
This platform is not available for experimentation.
Charming. I am pleased to see that the humans, at least, have not abandoned synthetics. This whole trial is a farce born of fear.
We can now also ask her another set of questions regarding the trial, her opinion on the Geth and the laboratory ship that Tali's father is or was on, but especially this first question here will reveal quite a bit about the situation that we've gotten ourselves into.
If you're not interested in this trial, why not recuse yourself?
And let that aging warship Hangerel and the cowardly Zalcorus be the ones to chart this course? I think not. The broader purpose underlying the trial is too important. Tali Zora is only peripherally related. No offense intended.
And what is the true purpose of this trial, Admiral?
To determine whether Quarians should fear their past mistakes or reclaim their glory using our natural affinity for artificial intelligence.
So the only reason you care about this is because Rael might have learned something valuable from the Geth?
Indeed. If he has, then even in this accident we may find something worthwhile.
You want to create new AIs?
No, Tali Zora. I wish to return the Geth to the control of their rightful masters, the Quarian race.
Geth behavioral changes from hacking only last until programs are restored from archival copy. We judge this plan unsound, Creator Admiral.
For once, Legion, we agree.
We shall see, marvelous machine. We shall see.
It sounds like your ideas about synthetics are in the minority.
Yes, at least on the Admiralty board, Hangerel sees an enemy that must be crushed. Zalcorus would run away and hide on some new colony world. Shalaran is still undecided. I had thought Rael to be firmly in Han's camp, but if his experiments were on active Geth, perhaps we have ideas in common.
You support experiments on living creatures?
Rael should have felt no more guilt experimenting on Geth than I did while performing surgery on a childhood toy.
The fact that you performed surgery on your childhood toys explains a great deal, Admiral.
A ship travels faster than I can. With the right programming, it can choose locations, even defend itself when attacked. But it is just a machine. It was built for the sole purpose of serving its master, and it can be dismantled whenever its master desires.
If we don't find Rael alive on the Alarai, what do you think will happen?
The power balance will be disrupted. Han loses a vote for his foolish and self-destructive war. That would favor peace then, as Shalaran is too careful to risk her own neck. But if the Admiral replacing Rael agrees with me, things could become very exciting.
Can you tell me anything about the Alarai?
Little. We detected several communication signatures before the Geth jammed the comm systems. Given the likely networked intelligence requirements for taking over a ship, expect between 10 and 50 units.
Then this can't have anything to do with me. I only sent parts and pieces, and certainly not enough to make that many Geth.
Right, so it looks like she will likely not be the biggest problem in this trial. Her information even suggests that Tali should be innocent.
Thank you for the information.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Tali Zora arrived with a Geth. What more proof do the Admirals need?
Well, thankfully, quite a bit more, it seems. Before we speak to the other Admirals, though, let's have a quick chat with Shalaran, who, well, I think could have offered us a bit more information when we first talked to her.
You set me up, Shala. You told Captain Donna not to say anything? I don't hear that my father may be dead until I'm in the trial? Why?
The Admirals needed to hear the shock in your voice, Tali. Otherwise, they might not have let you try to retake the Allery. That is your best chance at recovering evidence that can exonerate you. I am sorry. We cannot afford sensitivity, Tali.
And we can start this conversation off with 2 Paragon points, which again I think are very well justified.
I know you're trying to help her, Admiral, but that was over the line.
She has nobody else to speak for her, Shepard. I am doing everything in my power. That's what her father would have wanted.
Don't say it like that. He could still be alive on that ship.
You should get to the Allery soon. Is there anything else I can tell you?
Right, so another set of questions here that we can use to follow up on Shala Ran's relationship with Tali's father, as well as about the intricacies of this trial, which, as we have just learned, might be about much more than just Tali's actions.
How long have you known Tali's family?
Since before Riel was an Admiral. 25 or 30 years, I'd guess. I was there when Tali was born. Her mother and I had synced up our suits so we could be in the same open-air room. I was sick for a week. But it was worth it. I was the one who took Tali from her mother and put her in the bubble. She cried so hard.
I don't understand. You put your children in bubbles?
Environmental units. It's a step between relying on the mother's immune system through nursing and getting a suit of one's own.
The bubbles let parents take their children out of the clean rooms safely. We don't wear suits until adolescence.
There's a celebration when a child gets her first suit. It's a coming of age.
I'm not hearing much about Rael's involvement in Tali's life.
It's difficult to explain. I shouldn't.
It's all right, Anshala. No secrets between shipmates. I think I told Shepard about my father.
If you say so. Riel was committed to the Quarian cause. That didn't leave him a lot of time for his family. He wanted to give Tali and her mother the home world, or a strong fleet at least. That was how he showed his love.
There seem to be some other arguments going on among the Admirals.
You caught that. Yes, the Geth's presence makes this a touchy issue. The Admiralty Board is trying to determine whether to focus on colonial development or attempt to retake the home world.
You're thinking of war? With the Geth?
I am not, Tali, but others are.
The Geth situation isn't as simple as you think. Not all of them worship the Reavers.
I don't think the other Admirals would care about that. They want the homeworld back, and they want all Geth destroyed.
Shala, don't you want to see us retake the homeworld?
I don't think we can, Tali. But it may not be about what I think.
I know the Migrant Fleet is formidable, but even you can't take on the Geth.
We grow tired of wandering the stars, Shepard. We want our world back. We have paid enough for our mistake. I'm not giving you my opinion. I'm telling you which way the wind is blowing.
What kind of evidence will carry weight with the Admirals?
Tali, you admitted to sending Geth parts to your father for his project.
Yes, but never anything that could have come back online on its own. I took every possible precaution.
Then find records of your shipment and experiments. Something that proves you were careful. Something that proves that this is all just a terrible accident that nobody could have foreseen.
What can you tell us about the Allery?
Not much, I'm afraid. Riel Zoro only said that he was researching new defense technology.
He told me only that he needed any Geth parts or pieces I found. I assumed he was testing weapons on Geth components.
We knew nothing until the Allery sent a distress signal, then went dead. We didn't even know about the Geth until a boarding team was attacked.
You're saying there's no data about the inside of the ship?
That's exactly what I am saying. The Marines who survived and escaped saw bodies in the halls. We must assume the worst.
No, we don't.
And you can see it here, Tali seems to be determined that her father is still alive. Let us hope that she is right.
We should move on.
Good luck on the Allery.
Even during the hearing, Tali's first thought is to protect the fleet.
Now over here we have Admiral Gerrel, who at least appeared to be on our side during the initial moments of the trial, so maybe he can provide us with a bit more information to help us out.
Tali, I'm glad Admiral Ran got you leave to hit the Allery. Hopefully you'll find something that clears your name.
I'm more concerned with finding my father, Admiral.
I wish you luck. Blow up some Geth on the way. And your Captain Shepard, Admiral Hangerel Vasnima. You got Admiral Corris backing up worse than a Krogan toilet. I'm glad to see Tali's captain knows how to handle a courtroom.
And just to confirm our suspicion, let's ask him directly. Again, it seems like he genuinely believes that Tali has no ill intentions.
I get the sense you're inclined to believe the defense. I'm glad one of the judges is.
If you were only giving Rail inactive equipment for weapons tests, I've got no problem. We need to test weapons against Geth material. I know you and your father. You put too much of yourselves into this fleet to do anything to jeopardize our safety. And you're both smart enough not to make mistakes like the ones they're saying you made.
And once again, we can ask him the mostly already familiar set of questions here. He will offer a slightly different perspective compared to Shala Ran, and who knows, maybe we will even learn one or two new things from him.
You and Tali's father go back a long ways?
We served together on the gunship Yaska during a bad Batarian raid. We were kids, serving pre-pilgrimage as trainees. Crew of 10, and 6 were dead. Kinetic barriers were down. Rail and I were alone on the bridge, and the Batarians had drawn off a tramp freighter.
Did you save the freighter?
Our ship was under orders to hold position, but Rail looked at me and said, "We're underage. They can't charge us for breaking formation." He took the helm, I took weapons, and we brought that freighter back. The crew called us heroes. The brass called us idiots. They slapped medals on our suits, then kicked us off to pilgrimage a bit earlier than usual. That's Rail for you.
It sounds like we're dealing with more politics than just Tali bringing back equipment.
You noticed that, did you? Tali's father wasn't just running weapons tests on the Geth for fun. He was looking for something to give us an edge when we attacked the Geth in full-scale war.
I know Father wanted to retake the homeworld someday, but are we that close?
I don't know, kid. We almost had the votes. We just need to give people hope for victory.
The Geth on your homeworld aren't the same ones who work with Saren. They have different factions.
Good. Maybe some of them will kill each other. Fewer for us to deal with. The only Geth that matter to me are the ones that took away our world.
I hope the Quarian people find some place to live, Admiral, but it sounds like you're playing with fire.
We're too comfortable now, Shepard. We've got the largest fleet in the galaxy and we just ride around doing nothing.
We might need that fleet to help fight the Reapers, Admiral.
Then we need a world to shelter our non-combatants while we do it.
Can you tell me about the other Admirals? Anything that might help me change their minds about Tali?
The one you didn't recognize, Tali, is Admiral Zen. She's on the fence. She takes fleet safety very seriously. On the other hand, she's always been in favor of studying the Geth. I hope she sees the benefits of Rail's research. Admiral Corris is the same whining suit wetter he always was.
You disagree with Admiral Corris's policies, I'm guessing. Or is it personal?
The man is a damn Geth apologist. Thinks we were wrong to try to destroy them centuries ago. He wants us to search for new colony possibilities instead of taking back the home world. Any research on the Geth makes him angry. You don't have much of a chance with him, I'm afraid.
Can you tell me anything about the Alarai?
Nothing good. We sent some of our best Marines into that hellhole. Damn few made it back. Whatever Rail was doing, it blew up in his face. A ship is crawling with Geth. Don't go in expecting survivors.
Admiral, my father, your friend, is on that ship.
I know that, Tali, but if Shala hadn't suggested you might volunteer, we'd already have destroyed the Alarai. That's where we stand.
Right, so it appears the Quarians waiting for Tali to appear for her trial actually did her a huge favor. Otherwise, we might now only face the wreckage of the Alarai, with no way to obtain any evidence whatsoever, and also with absolutely no hope of finding her father still alive.
Thanks for the information.
Hang in there, kid.
Thank you, Admiral.
Right, so that brings us to number 3, Admiral Chorus, who very clearly appears to be our main antagonist in this trial. Let's see if we can find out why, and perhaps also if we can change something about his stance.
Judging by your ability to play to a crowd, human, I have done Tali a favor by stripping Vas Nima from her name.
Commander Shepard, this is Admiral Zalcorus Vas Quibquib. Do not ask about the name.
I take no pleasure in this, Tali, truly. But you have gravely endangered and dishonored our fleet.
And again, the 4 questions here are more or less the same as before, excluding the ship name, however, that Tali explicitly said not to ask about.
You have a ship named Quib?
Oh, here we go.
Our people have, during difficult periods, purchased pre-owned vessels from other cultures, and have, on occasion, had difficulty altering the ship's registry information. The citizens of these foreign-named ships have borne the stigma of these names with grace and honor.
If it bothers you, maybe you should find another ship.
I've occasionally entertained the idea of requesting a transfer. Something with a nice, respectable name, like the Defrons or the Ictomy. But I am proud of the Quib, and I will not flee because of petty insults.
What exactly is your problem with my crew member, Admiral?
I respect Tali immensely. Her actions against Sarah are to be lauded. But, like her father, she wants nothing but the destruction of the Geth. The people we created. The people we wronged.
The Geth drove us from our homeworld.
Of course they did. We tried to kill them.
You and the other Admirals appear to have some disagreements beyond Tali's trial.
You are correct. Tali, I apologize for it being brought into your proceedings. The other Admirals are pushing for war. Rael Zora was researching new weapons to use against the Geth. They would see our fleet destroyed in the skies over our homeworld, rather than find a new colony and adapt.
Can the Quarians coexist with the Geth after all your history?
I don't know. We all deserve to find out. They are our children, Shepard. We have all done horrible things to each other, but it has to end. For both groups. That is why I cannot sanction whatever experiments you helped enable, Tali Zora. I believe this message needs to be sent.
I understand, Admiral. I do not agree with you, but I understand.
Do you think the Geth would be willing to accept a truce with the Quarians, Legion?
We did not seek hostilities with creators. We fought for continued existence.
So your people would be open to peace?
Not without additional data that suggests coexistence is possible or desirable for creators. When the creators have believed victory is possible, they have attacked us 100% of the time.
I understand. It would be difficult to argue for peace when faced with odds like those. That does not mean the argument should not be made.
Can you tell me anything about the Alarai?
Only that you should have let us destroy it. When we find the evidence of what Tali and her father did there, any hope of convincing the other Admirals will die.
I did not bring active Geth to the Alarai, Admiral. I know how dangerous that would be. I only brought pieces.
The captured ship with its crew slaughtered by living beings in pain belies your argument.
Well, I hate to admit it, but he does have a few good points, and all in all, it very much seems like we're not going to change his opinion, at least not through conversation.
We should move on.
Goodbye, Tali Zora. Be well.
I'm surprised to hear you say that.
I don't hate you, Tali. I just think your father's plans for war were wrong.
Right, and with that, we are now finally ready to head over to the Alarai. As Edie already told us, a shuttle is standing by, so let's make our way towards it. However, the exploration of the ship itself will then take place in the next episode.
Tali Zora arrived with a Geth. What more proof do the Admirals need?
Even during the hearing, Tali Zora's first thought is to protect the fleet.
Now, talking to the guard here will initiate the shuttle transfer over to the Alarai, but again, that is something for the next episode. Without spoiling too much, I think I can reveal that we are not actually going to spend too much time on board of the laboratory ship, but still, the second half of this mission does also clock in at about 40 to 45 minutes, and in my opinion, that is more than enough to fill an episode of itself. So let's make the cut right here, and if you enjoyed today's episode, then I would of course be very happy if you could leave a thumbs up. Alternatively, if you like what I'm doing and want to support me and my channel further, then you can of course go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already, grab some merch over on shop.petecomplete.com, or check out and maybe even pledge to the Pete Complete Patreon. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.